Vice President Joe Biden is officially the Democratic nominee for President of the United States. After two failed attempts, almost 5 decades in politics, he just accepted the nomination while dozens in the area listened to his acceptance speech at a drive-in watch party. Thanks for joining us tonight. Nice to have you with us. I'm David Johnson.
And I'm Ryan Houston. Lisa is off tonight. The former vice president is hoping to take over the White House in the midst of a global pandemic that has deeply impacted our economy and left millions unemployed.
And Ryan, we have Team 11 coverage of his speech for you tonight, starting with Channel 11's Amy Hudak. She is live in Rankin after speaking to local voters there. Amy.
Well, David and Ryan, a very optimistic tone. You can still hear some of the music playing, and some of the voters out here, supporters of Joe Biden, are fired up. They are excited, and they say they are feeling hopeful for the future. Joe Biden, as he took the stage, he said character, compassion, and decency are on the ballot. His speech focused on defeating this global pandemic and rebuilding the country stronger than before. He never mentioned President Trump by name, but minced no words, saying our current president has failed to protect us, and that is unforgivable. This, of course, here is a historic setting. The Kerry blast furnaces are symbolic of the domination of the steel industry and the once bustling economy. Dozens of families drove here to watch the final night of the DNC from their cars, socially distanced. Many of them are delegates and would have been in Milwaukee if it weren't for COVID-19. This election is deeply personal for so many of the voters that we talked to. Jobs, of course, is a huge issue for families, especially with COVID crippling the national and local economy. Voters we talked to say key election issues for them also include health care, climate change, and human decency.
I think that there are some really stark differences that have really been outlined well during this entire convention. As an LGBTQ person, this administration has been absolutely terrible, especially for people who just want to serve in our military.
We need the leadership of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in order to rebuild our economy, in order to get out of this public health crisis that we've been mired in with no real leadership, in order to build back better.
Next up, it's the Republican Party's turn. The RNC begins next week on Monday. We will have continuing coverage of that as soon as it begins. And for more coverage of the Democratic National Convention and Joe Biden's acceptance speech, head to our WPXI News app. Live in Rankin, Amy Hudak, Channel 11 News.